there, you're tuning into Nightline with me, Azaria Tagaya. Here are the top stories. Government did not conceal any documents related to Datuk Seri Najib Razak's addendum. And Tengku Maimun confident Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim remains committed to uphold judicial independence. Good morning. The Royal Addendum Order allowing former Prime Minister Datuk Seri Najib Razak to serve the remainder of his jail sentence under house arrest was never hidden by the government. Its spokesman Fahmi Fadil said that such allegations made by several parties, including the opposition, are untrue.
Dokumen yang dimaksudkan itu sejujurnya tidak disorok. Ya. Saya sendiri sebagai Menteri Komunikasi tidak ada menerima, melihat ataupun dimaklumkan tentang dokumen tersebut. Kes ini diremit semula ke Mahkamah Tinggi, maka kita perlu mengambil pandangan dan nasihat dari Peguam Negara tentang beberapa perkara yang tidak akan memprejudiskan perjalanan kes tersebut.
On Monday, the Court of Appeal granted Najib permission to initiate judicial review proceedings aimed at confirming the existence of the Royal Addendum. The addendum decree by the 16th Yang di-Pertuan Agong, Al-Sultan Abdullah Riayatuddin Al-Mustafa Billah Shah, is set to allow the former Prime Minister to serve the remainder of his sentence under house arrest. Najib's lawyer, Tan Sri Muhammad Shafi'i Abdullah, produced the document when submitting the former Premier's application to the Court of Appeal to adduce additional evidence in his appeal to reinstate his judicial review against the government to disclose the alleged addendum order. Najib is currently serving a 6-year jail sentence after he was convicted in the SRC international case. In another development, a PKR leader believes that the government should declassify the minutes of the Pardons Board meeting to stop accusations that the former king's decree to place Najib under house arrest had been ignored. According to Datuk Seri Shamsul Iskandar Muhammad Akin, this would also put an end to speculation and accusations regarding the existence of an addendum from the meeting.
Saya ingin syorkanlah kepada kerajaan, kepada kabinet untuk menceritakan kepada publik apa yang berlaku step by step, mendedahkan minit-minit mesyuarat ini, menceritakan apa sebenarnya perbincangan kita adalah berkaitan pengampunan ini, apa stand yang diambil oleh wakil-wakil, supaya rakyat tahu, boleh melihat, boleh mendengar sendiri, kan, dan tidak timbul lagi pertikaian.
He added that declassifying the meeting's details would also ensure transparency and prevent any manipulation of the issue by parties out for political gain.
Mereka tahu bahawa Perdana Menteri menunjukkan keikhlasan dengan memastikan keadilan untuk warga Malaysia ni, dan dalam konteks ni kita bicarakan tentang Datuk Seri Najib, dan inilah yang saya lihat cuba digugat, cuba diambil peluang ni oleh pembangkang, namun kita lihat itu tidak berhasil.
Chief Justice Tun Tengku Maimun Tuan Mat expressed confidence that the government under the leadership of Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim will continue to uphold judicial independence. She is also optimistic that the Prime Minister will remain steadfast in his stance, as stated in the Hansard in Parliament nearly 16 years ago, to defend the independence of the judiciary.
I am certain that now, as Prime Minister, Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim and his government will remain true to those comments by continuing to unreservedly remain committed to upholding the cause of judicial independence.
Tengku Maimun, who is set to retire in July this year, said this at the opening ceremony of the 2025 legal year in Putrajaya on Wednesday. Appointed in May 2019, Tengku Maimun became the first woman to hold the top position in the judiciary. The country's top judge said her leadership of the judiciary under 4 different prime ministers, all from different political affiliations, should dispel any baseless notion of her being partial to any political party. Tengku Maimun also hopes that the appointment of the next Chief Justice is fully compliant with all aspects of the law and prioritizes the need to keep the judiciary independent. She emphasized that the Judicial Appointments Commission, which is responsible for appointing judges, must remain free from external influence. Discussions are ongoing to facilitate the return of Palestinians who were brought to Malaysia for medical treatment. Madani government spokesman Fahmi Fadil said that the Foreign Ministry and the Defence Ministry will coordinate with the Egyptian government to resolve the issue.
Saya jelaskan tadi, dia melibatkan dan akan diselaraskan oleh Kementerian Luar dan juga Kementerian Pertahanan, maka kita serahkan untuk diselaras dan diuruskan. Perbincangan itu diteruskan. Sama ada akhirnya dihantar pulang melalui Mesir ataupun melalui kaedah ataupun melalui negara lain, ini akan dimaklumkan kemudian.
Fahmi said this at a media conference after a cabinet meeting in Putrajaya on Wednesday. He added that the Madani government remains committed in ensuring the welfare of the Palestinians who came to Malaysia for medical purposes and that all medical services will continue to be available. On Monday, Fahmi, who was also Communications Minister, said that the incident involving Palestinians at the Wisma Transit Kuala Lumpur WTKL will be discussed in Wednesday's cabinet meeting for further action. In the incident that occurred last Saturday, a group of Palestinians housed at WTKL vandalized the premises in protest, demanding that their repatriation process be expedited. A similar case occurred at the same location in October 2024, involving Palestinians reportedly dissatisfied with being restricted from leaving the premises due to security concerns. On August 16th last year, a total of 127 Palestinians and their family members arrived in Malaysia aboard two RMAF A400M aircraft. 40 of them had arrived to receive medical treatment. In a shocking broad daylight attack in Johor Bahru, a man was shot dead in front of a restaurant in Taman Setia Indah on Wednesday. The victim collapsed and died at the scene after being shot by someone seen riding away on a motorcycle. Several videos of the situation in front of the restaurant had been posted on social media. It is understood that during the incident, the man was outside the restaurant after having just finished lunch. A motorcyclist approached him and fired several shots before fleeing the scene. Johor Bahru South Police Chief Assistant Commissioner Raup Slamat said the 40-year-old victim had been at the restaurant with a few of his acquaintances. Police have collected footage from CCTV cameras installed in the restaurant and surrounding business premises. Raup said police are currently working to identify the individuals involved, locate witnesses and determine the motive behind the incident. Only those exhibiting signs of intoxication, drug use or unusual behaviour will be selected for screening at concerts in Selangor. The Selangor State Government clarified that the proposal is part of preliminary measures to ensure the safety and well-being of attendees at entertainment events in the state. In a statement, Selangor Executive Councillor Dato' Ng Swee Lim assured industry players that the standard operating procedures for concerts will remain unchanged. However, stricter monitoring and collaboration with the police are essential steps to take moving forward to prevent unwanted incidents such as those reported during a recent New Year's Eve concert. Ng said the state government was open to feedback and views from relevant stakeholders to ensure that the interests of all parties were represented. The statement follows an incident in Bandar Sunway, Subang Jaya last week, where 4 individuals, including 2 women, died allegedly due to consuming illicit substances during a New Year's Eve concert. A government agency director and 3 company directors are among 8 arrested by the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission MACC as part of an ongoing investigation into graft allegations related to commercial vehicle inspections. According to sources, the suspects, aged between 30 and 50, were detained at various locations across Malacca and the Klang Valley during Op Loader, an operation conducted by the MACC Intelligence Division between 9 a.m. and noon on Wednesday. The letters were used to facilitate applications for carrier license class permits and vehicle lifespan extensions at a fee of 3,500 ringgit per application. The companies assisted in falsifying documents and managing applications, including letters of approval and letters for vehicle lifespan extension, allowing commercial vehicles to undergo Puspacom preliminary inspections. The bribe amounts reportedly ranged from 3,000 ringgit to 20,000 ringgit, depending on the type and age of the vehicle, as well as the financial capacity of the companies seeking the licenses. MACC Deputy Chief Commissioner for Operations Datuk Sri Ahmad Kusairi Yahya confirmed the arrests, saying that the investigations were ongoing under the MACC Act. He said that the suspects will be brought to the Putrajaya Magistrates Court early on Thursday for a remand application. Meanwhile, the MACC has arrested 13 more officers suspected of being involved in a syndicate approving improper heavy vehicle inspections at a centre in Kuala Lumpur. Sources said all the men aged between 20 and 40 were detained between 1 p.m. Tuesday and 3 p.m. Wednesday when they appeared to give evidence at the MACC headquarters in Putrajaya. According to a preliminary probe, all the suspects are believed to have received bribes ranging from 150 ringgit to 1,500 ringgit per month in cash from runners in return for helping to pass vehicle inspections where they were on duty. The arrest of all the suspects is a follow-up to the arrest of 6 vehicle inspection officers last Monday and also the result of an interrogation conducted by the MACC on an agent previously handed over by the Road Transport Department. Meanwhile, MACC Deputy Chief Commissioner for Operations Datuk Sri Ahmad Kusairi Yahya, when contacted, confirmed the arrest, adding that investigations were ongoing under the MACC Act. To date, the MACC has arrested 22 suspects, including 19 vehicle inspection officers, 1 agent and 2 runners. In Malacca, an express bus driver was seriously injured while 8 others sustained minor injuries in an 8-vehicle crash on the Sungai Udang, Paya Rumput, Air Keroh Highway in Alor Gajah on Wednesday. The 10:28 a.m. incident occurred due to a lorry stopping suddenly to avoid a broken-down car. Malacca Fire and Rescue Department Director Muhammad Pisar Aziz said that 30 firefighters from the Air Keroh, Bukit Katil and Jasin fire stations were dispatched to the scene. Upon arrival, rescuers saw that the crash involved an express bus, 2 4-wheel drive vehicles, 3 lorries, a car and a sports utility vehicle SUV. The firefighters took 40 minutes to rescue the bus driver who was trapped in the vehicle. 8 individuals sustained minor injuries while 6 others escaped unhurt. The victims were sent to the Malacca hospital. The government has introduced a special incentive package for the Johor-Singapore Special Economic Zone, which was launched on Tuesday. The initiative aims to attract high-value foreign investments into Johor, while at the same time addressing the dynamic needs of domestic investors. In a joint statement, the Finance Ministry and the Johor State Government announced that applications had begun on January 1st. Companies undertaking new investments in qualifying manufacturing and services activities will benefit from a special tax rate of 5% for up to 15 years. These include artificial intelligence, medical devices and aerospace manufacturing. Specific tailor-made incentives will also be allocated to businesses operating in certain flagship areas within the zone. Additionally, eligible knowledge workers also stand to benefit from a special tax rate of 15% for 10 years. The economic zone encompasses the Iskandar Development Region, Forest City, the Pengerang Integrated Petroleum Complex and Desaru, covering an area of 357,000 hectares. It has the potential to create 100,000 new job opportunities and contribute more than 117 billion ringgit to the country's economy by 2030. Meanwhile, analysts have expressed confidence that the state's developmental boost has the potential to propel Johor as a central economic hub. This can be attributed to Johor's ability to offer a lower operating cost environment, access to land and an ample supply of skilled labour, while Singapore provides advantages in capital and technology. According to RHB research, the Special Economic Zone is a compelling proposition, with the corporate and personal income tax incentives contributing to its appeal. Furthermore, the commitment shown with the establishment of a one-stop centre to facilitate processes and the establishment of an infrastructure fund is icing on the cake for potential investors. Singapore's stock benchmark closed at an all-time high on Wednesday, boosted by the ongoing rally in bank shares. The Straits Times Index rose 1.5%, pushing the gauge above the previous record level seen in October 2007. Shares of DBS Group Holdings Limited, Overseas Chinese Banking Corporation and United Overseas Bank Limited hit new highs. Robust loan growth and local lenders' ability to buffer any squeeze in profit margins due to lower interest rates have helped drive recent advances in Singapore's banking stocks. The government's efforts to revive the island state's equity market have also caught investors' attention. The brokerage has a new target of 4,020 for the index, implying more than 3% upside from current levels. Still, market watchers have expressed doubt over the outlook for the country's stock market. National shuttlers bounce back to keep title hopes alive. Action from the Malaysia Open after this breather.
Kopi satu.
Kekal cakna, kekal sihat. Hello Doktor merungkai pelbagai persoalan kesihatan anda.
Penyakit kronik, pemakanan, kesihatan mental, semuanya demi kesejahteraan anda.
Setiap minggu bersama tenaga pakar kesihatan terbaik Malaysia, segalanya terjawab dalam Hello Doktor setiap Ahad
5.30 petang di TV3
Dan stream juga melalui Tonton.
Pergi ke YD Media memang impian saya dengan arwah bapa.
Dari kecil, saya selalu buat melodi lagu. Dan Papa selalu nak dengar. Sampai dia dapat duit pencen. Dia keluarkan RM15,000 untuk sewa mini album. Dan kita orang kena tipu dengan satu record label. Satu kopi pun saya tak dapat. Dan sebelum Papa pergi, Papa ada cakap, Alin, jangan stop.
Setiap dari kita ada kehidupan dan cara yang berbeza-beza. Tapi kalau dikongkong macam mana? Sehari tak makan nasi, rasa tak kena hidup ni. Jom saya kongsikan pelbagai variasi nasi. Stres itu perkara biasa ataupun satu masalah? Saya kira itu faktor penerimaan kita. Curang, jangan biarkan ianya berlaku. Curang itu pilihan Tafiza. Jodoh, tentulah rezeki yang tidak dijangka-jangka. Jodoh itu rahsia Tuhan. Semuanya di Wanita Hari Ini dan stream sekarang ditonton. Wanita Hari Ini.
Dalam bos tu cantik, baik pula tu.
Cantik. Dia kata mak dera dia buat kerja rumah.
Mak,
Abang dengan siapa?
abang makan seorang lah, kenapa tanya macam tu? Bila kau nak kahwin dengan Irman, aku yakin kau mampu untuk ubah keluarga dia. Apa yang kau dah buat kat Haila, rumah tangga kau. Kalau Haila tahu semua benda ni, macam mana? You nak I ceraikan Haila?
Sudahlah, Abang. Sudah tak ada guna dah, Abang nak merayu lagi.
Wanita Milik Kaiden. Isnin hingga Jumaat 7 malam. Terbaharu di Akasia TV3.
Radin dengan Maris agak satu.
Sejak bila saya jadi tunang awak?
Awak dengar dulu apa saya nak cakap.
Awak jangan nak memandai.
Hang tak bagi tahu aku.
Sama je kan aku tidak mana-mana pun. Hang memang takkan sentuh aku.
Kami tak berjaya selamatkan anak Encik. Saya harap Encik bersabar ya.
Aku minta maaf sebab aku kau dengan Reza berpisah. Siapa cakap aku dengan Reza berpisah?
Cinta Bukan Milik Kita. Isnin hingga Khamis 10 malam. Di Samarinda TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
Ada drama barulah kat Facebook. Nak download lah tu. Ingat jangan download ataupun share laman web Cetak Rompak. Jangan.
Moving on to sports now with badminton and the 2025 Malaysia Open. Following a disastrous opening day on Tuesday, which saw some of the country's best hopes eliminated, 3 national shuttlers emerged to give an ounce of hope for the hosts as they advanced into the second round on Wednesday. In the men's doubles, the country's world number 6 pair, Aaron Chia and So Woo Yik, managed to down American pair Chen Ziyi and Presley Smith 21-15, 16-21, 21-10 in 58 minutes. The pair are through to the last 16, where they will face either Kwang Heng Liu and Po Han Yang or Fang Chi Li and Fang Zhen Li of Taiwan. Also in the men's doubles, independent pair Ong Yu Sin and Teo Yi Yi stunned world number 4 Fajar Alfian and Rian Ardianto of Indonesia, bouncing back from a first set to defeat them 15-21, 21-15, 21-13 in 62 minutes. The pair will face Yong Jin and Kan Ming Hyuk of South Korea in the round of 16. Joining them were mixed doubles pair Go Sun Huat and Chevon Jamie Lai. The married couple shrugged off any rustiness to deliver a commanding 21-15, 21-19 victory over American pair Presley Smith and Jenny Guy. The fourth-seeded pair will face Indian duo Satish Karunakaran and Adya Variath in their next match on Thursday. However, it was the end of the road for national singles shuttler Go Jinwei as well as women's doubles duo Ong Jin Yi and Carmen Ting. For Jinwei, her ongoing battle with stomach cramps saw her exit in the first round after she was defeated by India's world number 31 Maldika Bansod 15-21, 16-21 in just 45 minutes. Jin Yi and Carmen also suffered the same fate as the duo were dominated by Taiwanese pair Shuo Yun-sung and Chien Hui-yu 15-21, 15-21 in 39 minutes.
Moving on to football now, the Saudi Arabia Kings Cup holders Al Hilal were knocked out of the tournament, losing 1-3 in a penalty shootout against Karim Benzema's inspired Al Ittihad after 120 minutes of action at home on Tuesday ended 2-2.
After a goalless first half, Benzema brilliantly broke the deadlock in the 63rd minute with a composed finish to hand Al Ittihad a 1-0 lead. However, the lead didn't last long as Salim Al-Dawsari capitalised on a mistake by Al Ittihad just 10 minutes later to level the score. As the game finished with a draw, the match went into extra time, where the hosts took the lead in the 100th minute through Marcos Leonardo's tap-in. The visitors, however, kicked in their fighting spirit as Benzema pulled his side level just 6 minutes before the whistle to bring the game to penalties. The penalty shootout hinged on the final 2 kicks, with Al Ittihad's Danilo Pereira scoring his and their goalkeeper Predrag Rajkovic saving Malcolm's penalty, giving his side the 3-1 shootout win to advance into the semi-finals, where they will face Al Qadisiyah.
Now on to tennis. The 2025 Adelaide International second-seeded Sebastian Korda advanced into the quarter-finals after a straight sets win against Alejandro Davidovich Fokina of Spain on Wednesday.
The American took control from the first minute of the game to finish with a score of 6-3, 6-3 in 1 hour and 33 minutes. Waiting for Korda in the last 8 is the winner between the match of Thomas Martin Echeverry and Thanasi Kokkinakis. In the women's singles, unseeded American youngster Ashlyn Kruger advanced to the quarterfinals of the tournament following an impressive 7-6, 6-7, 6-2 win over the 5th-seeded Paula Badosa. Kruger will face top-seed national compatriot Jessica Pegula on Thursday.
We're going for a short break. When we return, 3 killed in Australia plane crash.
I didn't stop my dad while dia tengah bergaduh dengan kawan until end up kawan dia bunuh my dad. Umur Mary 9 tahun masa tu. Everything happened so fast until I saw dia punya kawan tikam sini dah. The last time I saw him, kami pergi hospital di dalam icebox sudah. Maybe that's the reason why I don't want to be a nurse. Sebab dia flashback everything that happened.
Setiap dari kita ada kehidupan dan cara yang berbeza-beza. Tapi kalau dikongkong macam mana? Sehari tak makan nasi, rasa tak kena hidup ni. Jom saya kongsikan pelbagai variasi nasi. Stres itu perkara biasa ataupun satu masalah? Saya kira itu faktor penerimaan kita. Curang, jangan biarkan ianya berlaku. Curang itu pilihan tau, Fiza. Jodoh tentulah rezeki yang tidak dijangka-jangka. Jodoh itu rahsia Tuhan. Semuanya di Wanita Hari Ini dan stream sekarang ditonton.
Wanita Hari Ini.
Sayang, nampak jam saya tak?
Alah, awak yang tak kemas betul-betul. Semaklah. Serabut tau.
Hidup ini keras. Kita patut bertolak ansur dengan pasangan kita.
Kita kena ambil berat, ambil peduli dan saling berkongsi kesenangan dan kepayahan kerana ia adalah penghubung kasih sayang.
Hai sayang.
Abang dah balik?
Dah masak dah?
Sorry, belum lagi.
Kita sentiasa berharap untuk dapat pasangan yang terbaik untuk kita.
Namun, tak semua kesempurnaan dapat kita kecapi. Yang paling penting, kita kena saling memahami antara satu sama lain.
Bos cantik, baik pula tu.
Cantik? Dia kata mak dera dia buat kerja rumah.
Mak. Abang dengan siapa?
Abang makan seorang lah, kenapa tanya macam tu?
Bila kau nak kahwin dengan Irman, aku yakin kau mampu untuk ubah keluarga dia.
Apa yang kau dah buat kat Haila, rumah tangga kau? Kalau Haila tahu semua benda ni, macam mana? You nak I ceraikan Haila?
Sudahlah, Abang! Sudah tak ada guna dah, Abang nak merayu lagi.
Wanita Milik Kaiden, Isnin hingga Jumaat 7 malam. Terbaharu di Akasia TV3.
Kekal cakna, kekal sihat. Hello Doktor merungkai pelbagai persoalan kesihatan anda.
Penyakit kronik, pemakanan, kesihatan mental, semuanya demi kesejahteraan anda.
Setiap minggu bersama tenaga pakar kesihatan terbaik Malaysia, segalanya terjawab dalam Hello Doktor setiap Ahad
5.30 petang di TV3 dan stream juga melalui Tonton.
On to the foreign front. Wildfires in the US tore across the Los Angeles area with devastating force on Wednesday after setting off a desperate escape from burning homes through flames, ferocious winds and towering clouds of smoke. The flames broke out on Tuesday evening near a nature preserve in the inland foothills northeast of LA, while another blaze that started hours earlier ripped through the city's Pacific Palisades neighborhood. A third wildfire started around 10:30 p.m. local time and prompted evacuations in the northernmost neighborhood in Los Angeles. High winds and very dry conditions further fueled the flames, causing the blaze to rip through neighborhoods at alarming speeds. The fires reportedly spread from a size of 10 acres to nearly 3,000 in a matter of hours. Authorities say there is no possibility of bringing the fires under control yet, as the Santa Ana winds and dry weather conditions worsen the situation. The causes of all three fires were under investigation. In Australia, at least 3 people were killed and 3 others injured when a light aircraft crashed at a popular tourist destination near Perth on Wednesday. Western Australian Premier Roger Cook said the deceased were 2 men from Perth and Denmark and a woman from Switzerland.
Our duty to confirm that 3 lives were lost when a seaplane crashed moments after takeoff at Thompson Bay. The victims include a 65-year-old woman, a passenger who we understand was a Swiss tourist, a 60-year-old man, a passenger believed to be a tourist from Denmark, and a 34-year-old man who was the pilot who lived in Perth.
He noted that the privately owned plane crashed after taking off from Rottnest Island at about 4 p.m. local time. Meanwhile, Cook said a Swiss man, a Danish woman and an Australian couple were rescued from the crash site. The Australian Transport Safety Bureau said it was now investigating the cause of the crash. The home of the impeached South Korean president was turned into a fortress on Wednesday as authorities prepared to mount a second arrest attempt. Layers of barbed wire and vehicle blockades were set up outside Yoon Suk-yeol's compound as hundreds of his supporters rallied to his cause. One of Yoon's lawyers said the president could not accept the execution of the arrest warrant because it was issued by a court in the wrong jurisdiction and the CIO had no authority to investigate the incumbent leader. The lawyer also denied suggestions by some members of parliament that Yoon had fled the official residence and said they were malicious rumours intended to slander Yoon. Over 400 people trapped by rubble in earthquake-stricken Tibet were rescued on Wednesday, with an unknown number still unaccounted for after a tremor rocked the Himalayan foothills and shifted the region's landscape. 24 hours after the tremor struck, those trapped under the rubble would have endured a night in sub-zero temperatures, adding to the pressure on rescuers looking for survivors in an area the size of Cambodia. According to experts, temperatures in the high-altitude region dropped as low as -16 degrees Celsius overnight. At least 126 people were known to have been killed and 188 injured on the Tibetan side. However, no deaths have been reported in Nepal or elsewhere, and Chinese authorities have yet to announce how many people are still missing. Many women and young children have been killed in Israel's latest attacks on Gaza on Wednesday, with nearly 50 people killed and dozens wounded in a single day as the overall death toll in the war-ravaged Palestinian territory pushes towards 46,000. The dead included at least 5 children killed in Al-Mawasi, a designated humanitarian safe zone by the Zionist military. Despite hundreds of thousands of displaced Palestinian civilians crammed in the area, Israel's military has continually attacked the site, claiming, without providing evidence, again, that it is targeting Hamas. According to Gaza's Ministry of Health, Zionist forces had carried out 3 massacres of Palestinian families in the past 24 hours, raising the overall death toll from Zionist attacks to 45,885 people killed and more than 109,000 injured. And that concludes Nightline this time around. Before we leave, let's take a look as Mexico's Museum of Anthropology reopened its second floor, unveiling an indigenous culture exhibition showcasing about 6,000 artifacts. With that, I'm Azaria Tagaya. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.